we've been at the start line for about an hour, and we're waiting for Cindy and my daughter Katie to come in. And you couldn't help but notice all the people across the street who were cheering and so happy and enjoying this glorious day. And then all of a sudden, it's just like this gigantic explosion and this ball of fire and this giant, plume of smoke that goes up. And you look over, and they're all gone. Nobody's there. They're down on the ground, and the people who are attending to them quickly, and the runners are stunned and down on the ground. And it was just like the most surreal scene I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. And I could hear you immediately say, everybody get out of the stands.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first thing I thought of was, we got to get out of here. This is an explosion. This is not an accident. And we've got to get to safety. And then all of a sudden, within probably 5-10 seconds, I mean, it felt like, 2, but the other explosion went off about 50 or 60 yards down the way to our left. And that's when I grabbed the people I was with and said, hey, come on, out of here now. We got to go. We got to get out. We got to live. Because I really thought for that moment that this might be when I die. Because this is not a good thing. This is a terrorist act of some type, and we got to get out of here.
Yeah. Well, it sounded, not everybody has that presence of mind, John, to just all of a sudden say, okay, I need to take action, I need to leave, and you encouraged others at the same time. Frankly, that's pretty heroic.
I don't know about that. It was probably more self-preservation, actually, Karen. I was thinking, I want to live. I got a wife and a daughter out there running, and I know they're close, and I want to see them and my family and my loved ones again, and I want to get out of here, and I want these people with me to get out of here, and so let's go, and we're going to turn to the right, because if we turn to the left toward the other explosion, that's a bad call. So I just was pushing people to the right, and I knew that there was an open space past the finish line because there were no hotels or buildings down there. Because I'd been a little familiar with it. So I just knew, let's get to the open area. And I'll tell you what was really disconcerting was as we were evacuating and I'm scrambling with the people I'm with, and I'm telling them, go to the right, and all the emergency responders are saying, stay away from the trash cans. And I look, and there are like 20 trash cans everywhere. Oh my God! One of these goes off. We got to get way out of here. And we did, and everything turned out all right for us, thank God. But it certainly feels awfully for the hundreds of families who've been affected today.
Now, how did you finally hook up with Cindy and with Katie?
Yeah, that took forever. I work with wireless now, so thank God for wireless, because at some point, Katie and Cindy, who were about a mile out from the finish, were able to get to a cell phone. They texted me. They told me they were okay, but I didn't find out for about an hour. So it took them a while to find somebody with a phone that they could use. And then we started working on information about where they were and where we were. We had to leave the area, and that created a little bit of a problem, but it was certainly understandable. But eventually we found them via phone calls and text, and then I walked about a mile to the hotel and grabbed them and hugged them like nobody's business, and then we walked back to our car, and we got home about an hour and a half later. So it was 4 or 5 hours after the explosion, but I don't care. It was just great to see the two of them.
Oh, absolutely. Now, how did you find out there was still a device right where you were sitting, basically?
Well, I've heard reports on the news tonight that there were a couple of other devices that have been uncovered, and that one of them was placed in the grandstand area. So that I can't confirm that, but that's what I saw on the local news here. And we had talked about that earlier or later after the explosion, that we had great seats, and we were sitting with hundreds of people, and the bomb that went off across the street from us was not in a grandstand area. It was in a spectating area where people weren't sitting, and there weren't as many people. And we were just saying, thank God that it didn't happen in this area too, with all due respect. And then to find out that there might have been a device there that kind of didn't detonate, you feel, quite lucky.